Hi there, Ninja Girl. Great video, as usual. And as usual, I have a few points I'd like to take up with you. In your video, you note that we atheists, judge Islam by the actions of repressive and backward regimes, and you feel this is unfair because these regimes don't practice the correct version of Islam. Yet the problem with this tack is twofold. One is fairly obvious. They say they do practice true Islam. Two is that your claim and their claim bumping heads in this way rather undermines the case for the Quran speaking with a single true voice. Clearly, there is some wiggle room here for interpretation. Your complaint is in fact very familiar to anyone who has grown up in Ireland. It is exactly the same as Protestants saying that the Catholic Church is not practicing true Christianity and that the Pope is in fact the Antichrist, which they actually do say. Now, you raised the awful subject of female genital mutilation and quite rightly pointed out that this is not scriptural or Quranical. Yet this is actually not the point. It is represented as doctrinal and broadly endorsed by the relevant religious community, and I am unaware of any broad effort within Islam to eliminate this despicable practice. Christianity has in fact a range of analogues to this. The Trinity, for example, or transubstantiation, or the rapture, are all weird Christian beliefs which cannot be firmly grounded in Scripture, yet these have become to the death dogmas embraced by one sect or group or another. Now, Christianity does get a deserved pasting for promoting these peculiar beliefs, and I've even heard Muslims do it, and I think that's just fine. So what you seem to be saying, though, what I'm hearing, as they say, what I'm hearing you say is that what you believe is the true Islam, or perhaps what your imam tells you is the true Islam, or what your mosque endorses, is the standard by which we must judge the entire religion. And in effect, this is merely the reverse of what you're actually complaining about. We should judge Islam on the narrow spectrum of doctrines that you endorse, the good doctrines, as opposed to the narrow spectrum of doctrines endorsed by Wahhabists, say. But really, it's a toss-up. There's obviously some interpretation, and there's obviously a theological argument as to which group has the truth. And in any case, even if what you were to say were true in any kind of metaphysical sense, what you believe, what your mosque endorses isn't the problem. You reject, and feel free to correct me on any of this, you reject female genital mutilation, misogyny, the enforced veil or burqa, morality police, suicide bombings, or the death sentence for blasphemy or other victimless religious crimes. At least that's my impression of you. And watching your videos has certainly moderated my own prejudices considerably. Now, if all Muslims embraced Islam as you do, then it would just be the Anglican Church, with better dress sense, more beards, and hymns that were at least vaguely musical. But alas, that is not the Islam we are confronted with. And there's the rub. Let me know what you think.